A 15,000 dong bag of bánh trộn, a bowl of chè ba mao, ice cold on a scorching afternoon, a piece of grilled banana sticky rice, still smelling of charcoal, at a night market. These three things all have one thing in common. They get Vietnamese people addicted from childhood to adulthood, and almost none of them cost more than $1. I'm Vietnamese. Today, I'm walking you through 12 street snacks and desserts that will genuinely get you addicted, not the postcard version. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to order, what it should cost, and which one tourists almost always get wrong. And that first one? Most visitors walk right past it because it looks like trash in a bag. Big mistake. Let me set the scene before we dive in. I didn't pick these 12 randomly. I picked them because they show you something guidebooks never explain. How Vietnamese people turned humble, everyday ingredients into an entire food culture built on obsession. Rice, coconut, mung beans. That's it. That's the base for almost everything on this list. And what locals built from that short list of ingredients is honestly kind of incredible. Stay with me, because number 1 is the perfect example of that genius. 1. Banh trộn, rice paper salad. This one began as a broke student snack near schools in Tây Ninh province, a farming region famous for its rice paper. Vendors would take dried rice paper, cut it into strips, and toss it with whatever was cheap and on hand. Green mango, dried beef or squid jerky, dried shrimp, quail eggs, fried shallots, chili oil, and a splash of tamarind sauce. They'd hand it to you in a plastic bag with a pair of chopsticks, and you'd eat it walking to your next class. Here's the thing that makes this one special. It's been widely described across food blogs and travel sites, with a line often credited to chef and food writer Andrew Zimmern, Vietnam in a bag. And honestly, that description is perfect. Sweet, sour, spicy, chewy, crunchy, all fighting for attention in a single bite. A bag on the street usually runs you around 50 cents to $1, depending on where you buy it. For less than the price of a coffee, you get the entire personality of Vietnamese flavor packed into one snack. This is why it's the gateway drug for most foreigners. Once you try it, you start craving it every single day. Honestly, back in high school, the second class let out, my friends and I would swarm the Banh trộn cart right outside the school gate, not really because we were hungry, but because it was practically a social ritual. If you skipped it that day, you kind of felt left out of the group. But this next one takes that same rice paper and puts it somewhere you'd never expect, over fire. 2. Bánh Nuong, Vietnamese pizza. It started in Đà Lạt, a cool mountain town in the Central Highlands, known for its foggy weather and its street food creativity. Vendors take a thin sheet of dry rice paper and grill it directly over charcoal, cracking an egg on top and spreading it thin like a sauce. Then they layer on scallions, dried shrimp, pâté, and slices of sausage, letting the whole thing crisp up until the edges turn golden and slightly burnt. This is street food theater. You watch it get made right in front of you, sizzling on a little charcoal grill. This spread from Đà Lạt to Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang, and now almost every night market in the country has its own version. Now that you've seen what Vietnam does with rice paper, let's talk about what happens when things get sweet. 3. Chè ba mao, 3-color dessert, probably the most iconic chè in the entire country. The name literally means 3 colors, a layer of sweet mung beans, a layer of red beans, and a layer of green pandan jelly, all stacked in a glass. Then vendors pour coconut milk over the top and pack it with crushed ice. This is the dessert Vietnamese people reach for on a brutally hot afternoon. Chè, in general, shares a lot in common with the sweet soup traditions of China, but Vietnam took that concept and ran wild with it, creating dozens of regional variations. But here's what most people completely miss. Vietnam didn't just borrow desserts from Asia, it also quietly transformed a French classic into something totally its own. 4. Bánh Flan, Vietnamese creme caramel. It arrived during French colonization, back when the original French version was made with fresh cream and just egg yolks. Vietnamese cooks took that French dessert and rebuilt it using what was actually available. Sweetened condensed milk instead of fresh cream, whole eggs instead of just yolks. Most vendors steam it rather than bake it, giving it that soft, jiggly texture. Served cold, often with a splash of coffee poured right over the top. That coffee touch is completely Vietnamese. Nobody in France is doing that. In northern Vietnam, people often call this same dessert Banh caramel or Kem caramel, while in the south, it's almost always called Banh Flan. Same dessert, different name. A regional split that shows up again and again on this list. Here's something I find kind of funny. Almost every Vietnamese family has their own secret flan recipe, differing only in the ratio of egg to condensed milk and exactly how many minutes it's steamed. And nobody will ever admit someone else's recipe is better than theirs. 5. Kem soy, sticky rice ice cream. A Hanoi specialty built for one job, cooling you down when the heat feels unbearable. You get a base of warm, steamed glutinous sticky rice, and right on top, a scoop of coconut ice cream, finished with toasted coconut flakes. The contrast is the whole point, warm and soft against cold and creamy. There are shops in Hanoi that have been serving this across generations, and it's still usually around 50 cents a bowl, depending on where you go. If that combo already sounds strange, wait until you hear about the next one. 6. Sữa chua nếp gum, black sticky